If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you may have detected a slight change in, let's just say, tone over the last few years. As of late, you've been getting a more critical, some may even say negative version of me and the content I create. I've been critical about a lot of games lately, Battlefield and Planetside in particular. So much so to the point where I often get comments that go along the lines of, if you don't like it, why do you keep playing it? And as I'm about to jet set off to Melbourne to enjoy the Game Expo, I figured we'd have a chat about this for a while. So, g'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today I figured we'd sit down, have a chat, and delve a little deeper into why my content carries this more critical theme nowadays. Now, I get it, this may sound like a really weird, sort of out of left field video to be making here. Some of you out there may even share views that align more with mine nowadays, and may find it even weirder for me to be making such a video. But as I hinted just a second ago, I'm seeing more and more comments that read along the lines of this. Like, yo bro, if you're not enjoying the game so much these days, then why do you keep playing it? Or, you always complain bro, is it really that bad? Or, you're just hurting the game with bad publicity, please stop. And look, it's true, comparatively speaking, I've become far more critical of the games that I play here on the channel as of late. Sure, there was a time where I would release the odd rant video, but I've been making content for a little over 10 years now, and I definitely know that in that time, I've changed as a person, hell, maybe even matured as a person. At least, I'd like to think so. In that time, I've also become a far better player skill-wise, and I mean, if you look at my gameplay from some of my oldest content and the gameplay videos that I've released within the last month, the difference is truly night and day. Clearly, I've spent too much time in front of my computer. But with that definitely comes a change of perspective, right? It's natural and even healthy for us to all undergo a change in perspective as we challenge our viewpoints through life. In my opinion, one of the most dangerous things we can do as human beings is stay in an echo chamber of opinions that cement our own beliefs all throughout our life. Sure, it's a comfortable way to live, but a limiting one to personal growth. And in recent years, I've certainly aimed to challenge my perspective, challenge my standards as to what a quote-unquote healthy game looks like and what we should expect from the games we play nowadays. Or even just to take a moment to look at opportunities for improvement in the games that are out there right now. And sometimes that involves taking the time to put a magnifying glass on the things that aren't going right and calling them out for it. For example, if you look to my Planetside 2 content in particular, you'll see that we've done a true catalogue of videos lately that is all about criticism content, and it aims to address some of the biggest pain points I have with the wider game. Our video about max suits we released a year ago, our video about the combined arms experience, the server dilemma video, my one gripe video. Hell, we even focused on some of my pain points in the 2023 priorities video. To some of you, this may come across as another sweaty vet complaining about the game, trying to change the game to his will, but I promise you that's not the goal here. This can also be found in my commentary around other games as well lately, Battlefield content in particular. On that front, it's very rare for me to have a positive thing to say about the game, and we have done multiple videos really putting that game on the hot coals. Hell, we've even done a video lately called The Fall of FPS, a video that really documents my frustration with the wider first-person shooter market as of late. And hell, I've also got another video in the pipeline that talks to live service gaming and the problems that creates. If you've caught my streams lately, man, you would have seen me completely unhinged when it comes to, let's just say how passionate I can be about these games at times. I'm at least scripted and somewhat reserved in my videos. I am totally unscripted on the streams, and there is a very little filter. Just sort of comes with being a bogan Australian, And, some may look at this content at the surface and go, just another whinging PC elitist with unrealistic expectations from game developers, or he's just trying to farm negative views on YouTube. What's the point? The point is, I can see why this may sound jarring, and that I'm just, an old guy shaking his fist at the clouds, if you will. But I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that this content doesn't stem from the intentions of, farming views or being a negative Nancy for no reason. No, this change in content narrative really stems from one place and one place only. Passion. Passion for an industry that has brought me so many good times. Love for the franchises that I grew up on and continue to play to this day, sometimes for worse. And, quite frankly, a deep want for wanting them to simply do better. I'm an optimist by nature, ladies and gentlemen. I've said this time and time again on the channel. When something good comes along, whether it be in the gaming industry or in my work life or in my personal life, I cherish it. I clutch onto it like nothing else. I like to, really, for lack of a better term, milk the good times, if you will. Almost obsessively, if you will. All you need to do is look to my BattleBit content for a perfect example of this. But there's no denying that the majority of the first-person shooter market has been on rocky ground as of late, and over the years of being a content creator and just growing as a person, one of the greatest lessons I've learned in life is the importance of being critical. The importance of taking a step back and going, is this really a good thing? Or taking a long, hard think about something and going, well, are we doing the best we can here? And at the cost of sounding overly nostalgic or like a bloody boomer, there was a time where gaming simply felt like it was doing better. Developers were releasing, relatively bug-free games and polished games. Games had tighter gameplay mechanics, and most importantly, they were finished products. And I don't really want to get into any rants today about the specifics of those arguments because, let's be real, I've done those videos already, but that's the fuel that sparks the why behind making this kind of more critical content. To connect this more with specifically Planetside 2, as that's the game that's been copping some serious criticism from me lately, and I'm sure the reason the majority of you are subscribed to my channel, it once again comes from a position of wanting to see the game do better for itself. I truly believe that Planetside 2 could have been one of the leaders of the wider first-person shooter market once upon a time. It has some pretty solid groundwork here, and it has the wow factor that gets new players through the door. Its gunplay, it's fantastic. I love the skill curve there. The core roles and gameplay loop of most infantry classes in the game are well founded and can produce some really cool back and forth gameplay. The combined arms nature of the game, when it is played with the intention of generating fun fights, is a cool experience as well. Some of my best memories come from Planetside, but as my understanding of the game has grown and my skills have matured, I'm also conscious of the fact that the game could be doing much more and could be much more successful with some changes that I believe are likely to improve that new player retention and just that general gameplay flow. So my criticism of the game doesn't come from a place of malicious intent. It's not like I want to see the game die or I want to see, Planetside fall off a cliff and all the devs become homeless. It instead comes from, much like my approach to my gameplay over the years, I want to do better, to improve, to conquer new peaks, and my channel has always been about acting as a catalyst for conversations surrounding our favorite games, through the highs and the lows, which is why I have these kinds of conversations quite regularly nowadays, because we are going through some lows at the moment, and those lows need to be discussed. Which leads me to a key point I want to challenge a very few vocal people on in this video. The people who do come to my channel and say, bro, just stop making this cringe complaining content, or stop criticizing my favorite game, you don't know what you're talking about. The long and short of it, guys, is that these conversations need to happen. Now, yes, I am a relatively small fish in a very, very large ocean here on the world of YouTube. There's a good chance that the majority of my content and the majority of games that I talk about here on this channel don't even make it close to the ears of the developers. My feedback is most likely falling on deaf ears when it comes to, reaching the people that can actually make change. I get that. But at the same time, if there is room for improvement, or if we see that games are starting to falter off, which objectively some of them have been, then I really believe that those conversations need to happen. As a gaming community, we need to challenge each other's perspectives and, in some cases, stop accepting mediocrity as the new exceptional. A lot of content creators that do take a critical stance on a lot of games will often get told to sod off and that their opinion's not valid. But to me personally, I think it's a much healthier approach to have those conversations and sometimes have those slightly more difficult conversations about where we're going and what can be improved. The importance of criticism and critical thought when it comes to this sort of thing is so integral and important to me. And it's something you'll continue to see on the channel where I see fit. I'm not going to be someone who complains for the sake of complaining. I will always have an objective behind achieving something good if I've ever got something to have a bit of a whinge about. It's just that unfortunately right now in the gaming industry, there's quite a few things for us to be critical of. And well, given the gaming industry fuels my content on my channel, then unfortunately the content as such is going to be slightly more critical. So as a community here on YouTube, let's encourage these conversations and use it as a way to have those meaningful, critical conversations about the favorite games that we play on a daily basis. So yeah, that's going to bring today's video to a close, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Something slightly different from me today, but nonetheless, the gameplay in the background should have been pretty good for you guys to enjoy regardless. So if you did enjoy the video, backhand the like button, as it does go a long way to supporting the channel. If you're new here and you really found yourself enjoying the video, then consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification to keep up to date with all content, including live streams we release right here on YouTube. And if you feel like going above and beyond, consider hitting that join button down below and becoming a channel member. But that's going to be it from me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video once again. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.